Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm going to say it again. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
There we go. We want to keep this very celebratory, so feel free to whoop and holler as we're going through it, okay? All right. So good evening. It is my honor to welcome you all to the 2024 Unity Celebration, sponsored by the Center for Inclusion and Diversity and led by our amazing Senior Assistant Dean and Director of Diversity Initiatives, Dean Valerie D. James. If you do not know me, my name is Danielle Shipes. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions and Diversity Initiatives here at McGeorge. And it is my pleasure on behalf of the Unity Celebration Planning Committee to have you all here with us for this very momentous occasion. So, without further ado, I would like to welcome our Director of Admissions, Anne-Marie Meyer, to the podium for our land acknowledgement before we get started.
Hello, everyone. So University of the Pacific McGeorge School of Law would like to acknowledge that we work on indigenous land. We would like to recognize and pay our respects to the Sierra Miwok, the Patwin, and Nisenan tribes, and all the American Indian, indigenous peoples, and communities who have been or have become a part of these lands and territories in California, here in Sacramento County. Many California tribes are not recognized by the federal government, so they do not have access to federal assistance programs, jobs and educational programs, or housing. This leads to extreme poverty rates in these tribes.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. So why are we all here? We are here to celebrate all of you, our Unity grads, and I am loving seeing all the smiling faces and exciting faces out in the crowd. So tonight, I just wanted to lay out a few things. You will be hearing from our Dean of the Law School, Dean Michael Hunter Schwartz. You'll also be hearing from your chosen 2024 graduate speaker, Carla Noalis. You'll be hearing from our McGeorge alumna, Carmen Nicole Cox. And then you'll also be hearing from our diversity deans, Dean Valerie D. James and Dean Levine. But before we get into all of that, we would like to take a moment to recognize those graduates that have been a part of our amazing affinity organizations on campus. So I will ask that all of you stand to be acknowledged when I read each of the affinity organization, okay? Asian Pacific American Law Students Association. Black Law Student Association. Christian Law Student Society. Disability Alliance Law Student Association. First Generation Association. Jewish Student Law Association. Lambda Law Students Association. Latinx Law Students Association. Middle Eastern and South Asian Association. Unity Caucus. Women's Caucus. Women of Color Collective. And last but not least, our international students. Awesome. All right, so now it is my pleasure to introduce our Dean of the Law School, Dean Michael Hunter Schwartz, who will be delivering welcoming remarks. Michael Hunter Schwartz is the 10th Dean of the University of the Pacific McGeorge School of Law. Dean Schwartz has made advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion a core priority for action since he began his deanship, as evidenced by the creation during his time as dean of this Unity Celebration event, the Law School's Center for Inclusion and Diversity, the Diverse Bar Stipend, which is a $2,500 grant awarded to students who cannot work while they are prepping for the bar. And 9 this year are actually getting that award. Let's celebrate. The Law School's Virtual Food Bank, and the Egglet Scholarship, which will be, when fully funded, the largest need-based endowed scholarship fund for first-generation law students and law students of color. He has also been named number 9 in the country as one of the most influential persons in legal education. So Dean Schwartz, we welcome you to the podium.
Good evening. Welcome to McGeorge's 2024 Unity Celebration. I especially want to welcome our graduates. It's so great to see your faces. I'll need more applause as I go. I also want to welcome their loved ones and friends. And our faculty, staff, and administration. You know, I've loved each and every one of these Unity celebrations, and I have not been exactly able to articulate why. Why does this event stick with me so much? Why does it mean so much? I now have an hypothesis, and my welcome remarks will kind of articulate the 3 reasons why I think I love this event so much. First, and most importantly, I love it because it's a celebration of our students. Here's my problem with you high achiever types. You are always off to the next challenge. And I understand the bar exam kind of gets you thinking that way because it kind of is the very next thing that's going to happen. But I worry that you never take the time to celebrate how accomplished and amazing you are. So I'm going to ask everyone in the room to help me. And what I'm going to ask you to help me do is make sure that our graduates celebrate every single step that brought them to today. And I'm going to invite you to applaud, and whoops are good too. All of our students, as I name all the steps that brought them here to today. First, they all graduated high school and got into college. Next, unlike just about half of all human beings who go to college never finish. So unlike those folks, you finished college. Then, courageous humans that they are, at least the JD students suffered through the dreaded LSAT, wrote dazzling personal statements, and applied to law schools and got in. After that, the terrible and terrifying first year of law school. Legendarily, the hardest first year of professional school anywhere, and you made it. And here's the thing, just about all of them had to navigate some personal challenge, some family challenge, the loss of a loved one, a health challenge, an adult who foolishly didn't believe in you. And you did successfully navigate that. And on Saturday, having completed law school, you will officially be granted your JD degrees, your master's degrees, and your doctorate degrees in juridical science. And then you will study for the bar exam, using our program, of course, and pass the bar on the first try. Woo! Folks, that's a lot of steps, right? You don't get to where they are without doing a lot. So I want you to know how sad I am that you all are graduating. I've racked my brain to try to find a way to keep you here. And I tried asking Dean Moylan and Dean Adams and the university, and they all told me, I have to let you go. So I'm going to. So that's the first thing. It's a celebration of our students. Second, this is a celebration of our unity as a community, something that is near and dear to my heart, maybe more than you might imagine. In fact, unity among us, our care for each other, is an ethic that I hold in the highest esteem. But let's be real, I'll not pretend to you that our students have not faced adversity that could have left us divided as a community. I suspect that many, if not most, law schools, what happened this year in our library and what happened in the world could have torn those law schools apart. Instead, at McGeorge, we united to try to support those in pain and to advocate for change. Instead, we united to focus on our shared opposition to hate, support of free speech, and caring for each and every member of our community. I'm therefore especially grateful to be sharing this unity celebration with you. Unity at our law school is real, and most importantly, it is a core characteristic of the class of 2024. You have brought us together, and I will forever be in your debt for doing so. I got a little teary there, I apologize. Third and finally, as a McGeorge colleague said to me last week, our unity celebration is a celebration that is our most personal, most connected celebration of our graduating students. It is a time for us to express our gratitude to you for our 2 years with you, 2.5 years with you, 3 years with you, 4 years with you, even occasionally 4.5 years with you. Thank you so much, really. Thank you. I, for one, will never forget you, and I will definitely miss you. Thank you. It is now an absolutely rockin' honor for me to introduce your selected 2024 graduate speaker, Carla Noyales. Did I get that right? Awesome. To the podium.
Well, welcome everyone, friends, family, and fellow graduates. They tell us that change is inevitable, that it's the catalyst of human progression, advancement, and evolution. But change itself, it's laborious, whether mental, physical, or emotional. Change often ensues confusion, which naturally begets doubt and resistance, which leads to trials, tribulations, and fear. And that's what makes us often adverse to change. But let's think back to the start of the second decade of the 21st century that changed the world as we knew it, as it was also the start of many of our journeys to this Juris Doctorate, to LLM, to JSDs, or other various master degrees that we have here today. Most of us began preparation for the 2020 application cycle at the advent of a global pandemic. The roller coaster of being accepted and matriculating into law school or graduate programs here at McGeorge at the precipice of a global war against an invisible enemy that forced the world into a pseudo-martial law. It was daunting, at least for me it was. Well, what was the solution? As a global society, law and order was rapidly altered for the protection of humanity. This was the only solution: to adapt to the new normal through cooperative, appropriate, and inclusive lawmaking and reform. We have witnessed the aftermath of and current challenges of many catalysts of change, We have the fourth industrial revolution of advanced artificial intelligence and technology. We have gene editing in medicine, the influential power of social media and entertainment, the wars in Israel and Palestine, Russia and Ukraine. You have the genocides in Darfur and Sudan, the jihadist Christians in Nigeria, and the Assad regime and Turkish genocides in Syria. Let us not forget our own domestic injustice and uprisings and protests, including the 2021 attack on the US Capitol building, Black Lives Matter, the overturning of Roe v. Wade affecting women's fundamental human rights, the environmental dangers of our technological advancements on the global environment. The culmination of all of these current events, ones new and ones existing, they have the potential to actively challenge the status quo of the political, economic, and social constructs of this next generation. As we inch towards the bestow of our degrees, I want to remind us all, we are the centennial class of the Pacific McGeorge University School of Law. That's 100 years of history and service, arbitration, treaty, peace, and regulation in the name of law. It is the legacy that we have shared domestically and internationally through continued legal expertise, experience, and influence in policy throughout the last century. As members of this diverse campus community, including those with various affinities, whether it's race, gender, color, creed, or even politics, we all share a common interest, a common goal, and that's peace and justice through ethical and moral principles of the conglomerate that we serve. We must foster a new sense of unity and become the next generation of change agents who will influence law and order not only in this country, but globally, just as our predecessors have. We must understand, as the homeostasis of power, the thin line that balances yin and yang in our society. And as such, we must uphold this balance through collaborative understanding of our charge as the new disciples of law. This is the start of our journey. Continue to master your discipline in law and strive towards the continued growth as an advocate. May we all prosper and become change agents of the next generation for the advancement and longevity of our careers, whether that be in law and justice, policy, business, nonprofit and government, or international areas. Be steadfast in your commitment to change, not only for our own success and prosperity, but also for those whose life you will impact throughout your legal career and beyond. You all might remember in our first year during orientation week, this is one of my most fondest memories. Dean Schwartz, he stood before us all. For me, it was right here in the lecture hall. And he said, look to your left, look to your right. One day, these will be your colleagues. So be kind to each other, help each other up as we progress through this treacherous 3 years of law school. Well, I implore you all to look to your left, look to your right. These are now your colleagues. Congratulations to the class of 2024. So now I have the absolute pleasure and honor of introducing one of my favorite professors, Professor Carmen Nicole Cox, class of 2011. She is the Director of Government Affairs at the ACLU California Action, where she leads a team of diverse, experienced advocates in advancing ACLU's statewide policy and budget agenda. For the last several years, Cox has been an adjunct professor here at McGeorge, teaching race, mass incarceration, and criminal justice reform, which I took, by the way. She is a self-described liberation attorney. She has spent a decade focusing on criminal justice reform and bringing people of color into the fight for liberation, including in her roles as Deputy Director at For the People, Deputy Legal Affairs Secretary for Governor Jerry Brown, Chief of Legislation at the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, and Deputy District Attorney in the San Joaquin County. In her immediate past role as Chief Counsel of Public Policy and Advocacy for United Way, California, Capital Region, Professor Cox fought to alleviate poverty, strengthen family resiliency, and improve education outcomes for children. When she was tasked with finding her replacement, Professor Cox recruited an exceptional McGeorge School of Law alumna, Ijiro Okoro, class of 2022. Join me in welcoming Professor Cox.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. Oh, one more time. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, so I have here approved remarks. Okay. Someone said, uh-oh. No. No. No, not at all. But I do have scripted remarks, but I'm going to go off script just for a second. The amount of joy that is emanating from you and your families is contagious. It is deserved. I hope that you carry it with you beyond today, beyond Saturday. I want you to leave some of it here on the campus for the babies that are coming by. Students, the youth, the folks who are coming behind you. This, what you have achieved today, is really just the start, right? This is part of a pattern of achievement and accomplishment, and none of it is by accident. Not a damn thing happened by accident, right? That your village is here. Just say, y'all are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Wildest dreams. And you got it from your village. Some of us are blessed to be able to have members of our village here today. Some of us are feeling the love from our village as they are afar. Listen. None of it is by accident. So as a consequence, I'm gonna ask y'all for something. So I'm gonna say, let them, and you say, no. Does that make sense? Look, we're gonna try it a couple times, okay? First, I'm gonna say, let them. No. Let them. No. Let them. No. You are not here by accident. You are your ancestors' wildest dreams. Wildest dreams. And this is just the start, okay? All right. I'm gonna go back to the script remarks. Okay. It starts like this. Distinguished faculty, honored guests, proud families, and most importantly, the remarkable graduates of the class of 2024. Hey, listen. Let them. Let them. This is not by accident, okay? Now today, back to the remarks. Today, we gather to celebrate a significant milestone in your lives. And this is not just the culmination of years of rigorous study and sleepless nights and preparation for exams when you're like, I know the professor didn't even teach this, I don't understand how it could possibly. No, it's not just that, good people. This is about the beginning of a new chapter where you are going to apply all of these newly learned skills, and some of them aren't even new. Why? Because you're your ancestors' wildest dreams. They put the gold in your veins. And McGeorge was grateful to have you here. I'm gonna go back to the scripted remarks. But also because this is the beginning of a new chapter where you will apply your knowledge and skills to make profound impact on the world. I know it, I believe it, I've seen it happen. What they didn't tell y'all, the inaugural Unity celebration, I got to speak. And the young, beautiful people who graduated that day, those folks are my colleagues. Not just my colleagues, there are occasions where I have questions. Those are the folks I'm calling right now. Those are also the folks I'm hiring. You always check on me, okay? I hire. So first and foremost, let us acknowledge the extraordinary accomplishment of each of you graduates. Among many of you are first-generation students who've overcome significant barriers to reach this point. I wanted to take a moment. I was going to talk about some of the barriers, and I said, not today, because those barriers are in the rear view. And you know what? We gonna let them? No. Because it's not by accident. Those barriers are in the rear view mirror. Okay. Your presence here today is a testament to your unwavering determination and the support of those who have believed in you and continue to believe in you. And you know what else? It's also motivated by some of those folks who didn't believe. You know what you're doing today? Letting them know. Okay. As we celebrate your achievements, we cannot ignore the broader context in which you are graduating. Our nation is navigating a complex and often contentious political climate. Issues of justice, inequity, human rights, unfortunately human rights violations, are forefront of national discourse. As new graduates, you all have the unique, powerful role to play here. You will have, as a consequence of the degrees you've just earned and the skills that you've honed, you're gonna have access to power. You have influence. You know what else? You are the power. And what we are expecting from you, what your ancestors are expecting from you, is that you play a powerful role. That you're out here, you're fighting not just for yourself. It's not just about the work you did, and it was hard. I don't want to discount that. But it's babies coming behind you. It's folks coming behind you, and you're working for them too, right? Y'all agree? Yeah, thank you. We are witnessing, this because I'm not staying on script, y'all. We are witnessing a humanitarian crisis of unprecedented scale in Gaza. The suffering and displacement of millions of individuals and families in the Congo reminds us of the urgent need for compassionate, courageous, and principled advocates. That's y'all. That's each of you. I'm honored, I'm blessed to be able to stand here before you and say, when you're doing that, when you're out here fighting, and it's about First Amendment rights, it's not just about the folks who are being, who are absolutely having their human rights violated in ways that we see a little bit more prominently. It is also about the folks who are being judged, who are being ostracized, who are being harassed, who are being belittled, who are being defamed, solely because who they are. When we defend rights, we defend the rights of all. We don't pick sides. But when there is urgency, we name where the urgency is. We agree? All right. As you step into these professional roles, I urge you to remember the faces and the stories behind the statistics so that you use your skills to champion the rights of the oppressed and the marginalized. That's what it's about. That's what's going to give you the most fulfillment. All those roles that I've had, what keeps me going is I know I'm going to be on the right side of history. Be on the right side of history. Use your skills, your talent, your passion, your resilience for the marginalized and the oppressed, some of whom are still in our families. I'm fighting for my own family today, okay? Y'all fight for y'all families out here. Listen, your education has equipped you with the knowledge to navigate complex legal systems, the analytical skills to solve intricate problems, the ethical grounding to make decisions that uphold justice and that name inequities. But beyond these skills, it has also been instilled in you the values of empathy, integrity, and service. These values will guide you as you take on the mantle of leadership in your respective communities and beyond. And I'm going to keep naming. As you bring those babies who are behind you, bring them along with you, right? That's who we're fighting for. Today, as you embark on this journey, remember the words of Justice Thurgood Marshall. In recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. Say that one more time. In recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. Let this principle guide your actions and decisions. Advocate not just for the letter of the law, but the spirit of the law that underpins it. Use your platform to amplify the voices who cannot speak for themselves and to create a legal system that is fair, inclusive, and just. As you leave this institution, you carry with you the hopes and dreams of those who came before you and those who will come after you. You are the embodiment of their aspirations. Your success is a beacon of hope for future generations. Stand tall, be courageous, and remember that your journey is not just about personal achievement, but about making a lasting difference in the world. I want to say congratulations, class of 2024. The world needs your passion, your intellect, your skill, your unwavering commitment to justice. Go forth and make it a better place. And you know what? Let them. No. You are not here by accident. Thank you.
I'm adding my name to the gift. Okay. Hello. Yay. So it's time for rules to be explained, so they called me. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to organize the chaos. I'm Mary Beth Moylan, the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs for 5 more weeks. Woo woo. And I'm going to explain the plan for the presentation of the stoles. So, this involves left side and right side. Everybody with me so far? I know. Sometimes we go like this. That's our right side, right? That's how we remember. Okay, so on the right, we're going to have our designated guests. And on the left, we're going to have our graduates. So I'd like for the graduates to line up along the left side, and I'd like the designated guests who will be presenting the stole to line up along the right side wall. Now, don't do it yet. I'm gonna say when, but let me explain what's gonna happen, okay? You with me? Yes. A graduate will walk up and hand me their card. I will read the name. The graduate and the designated guest will meet in the middle. A photograph will be taken after the stole is placed on. Yes? Yes. Okay. Then, after the photo is taken, people will return to their seats. Okay? Yes. It's good. And then the next person will come from here, and then here, and then they'll go to their seat. Yeah? Yeah? Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do it right now. Line up, and we're going to present the stoles. Not given a key piece of information. You have little tags, coupons with a number on them. Line up by your number, because that will match your designated guest and your graduate together. Did everyone hear that? You got a number 1? Not paying close attention. Keep moving, Dean Levine. Okay, how are the numbers going? You're number 1. over here on the designated guest side of things. Are we ready? Because I'm ready. But Danielle, you gave away your stole and you're first. That does not make sense. Okay, here she comes. Here she comes. I think we're ready. Are we ready? Okay. Our first person is Tara Lucero. Smile for the picture. Alexis Martinez. Okay, Farah Sheila Rodriguez. Woo! Congratulations, Farah's mom. So nice to meet you. Okay, Miriam Sorouche. Jasdeep Bossy. I'm sorry, me again. Hi, Hannah Azimi. Christian Landaverde. Nicole Kuklo. Camille Dominique Delizo. Sorry, I'm doing too many in a row. Kayla Fain. Manpreet Chima. Carla Marie Noales. Selena Martinez. Anissa Latif. Tuba Naveed. We got some big tubes. Yeah, maybe. Mandis Vakili, who also already passed the bar. Give her an extra. Crystal Rodriguez. Noemi Vitella. Devin Azevedo. Anna Karen Estrada Megania. Megan Ann Shaw. Taisha Watts. Georgine Berger. Shivani Prasad. Jara Lindgren. Ashley Hong. Jennifer Quarters Stiles. Lena Yu. Basmila Ziai. Jaylene Diaz. Armando Salud Ambriz. Marheb Aldajani. Christyle Braxton. Fatima Abdo. Danielle Sachie Coons. Malaya C. Yay, Malaya. Madison Cloak. There will be still presentation instructions later. Okay. Natalia Spiridanova. Again. Here we go. help from your friends. Okay. Cristina Perez Caballero. Francia Orduno. Well done, Erin. Elizabeth Rocha Zuniga. Not to be confused with Maria Zuniga Rocha.
Okay, a little break. So it's come to my attention that some of my remarks did offend some of our fellow graduates. My remarks in regards to the injustice that's currently happening in Syria. And so I would like to apologize if my remarks offended anyone, and I want to apologize to those students that my remarks did offend, and welcome any and all education to myself and fellow graduates and anyone else in the room. I want to make sure that everyone here feels at the utmost respect and welcome being here, because this is a day of celebration. We've all overcome a lot, and I would not like anyone in here to feel as if they're not as welcome as anyone else. And so I would like to offer my sincere apologies to anyone that my statements may have offended. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carla. I'm back. Daria Zhestovskaya. Close. Apologies. I did my best. Jakub Altun. Samat Uyar. And I believe that that concludes the presentation of the stoles. Well done, everyone. And now we will be treated right on time to closing remarks from our two Deans of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Valerie James and Larry Levine.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. colleagues, and guests, and particularly graduates, congratulations. I'm so proud of you. One of the revelations I've had somewhat recently is that as people age, we get grumpy, and part of that grumpiness, I figured, is because things just start to hurt, like your feet hurt, your back hurts. And then I realized that other things that make us grumpy is that we watch these battles that we were part of fighting and the progress that we have made start moving backwards. And it can absolutely be heartbreaking. The idea that we're watching barriers to try to keep people from voting is something I never, ever imagined I would see in my lifetime. That there is so much unhappiness and bitterness and barbaric conduct around the world. There is so much to be sad for. There is the retrenchment of constitutional rights that many of us have taken for granted. And even the idea that the terms diversity, equity, inclusion somehow are now being turned into bad words, negative concepts. I just can't sometimes get my head around that. How could that possibly be that diversity, equity, inclusion, equality, how could these ever be viewed as negatives? So then I start getting really, really grumpy and turn into Larry Downer, and I'm reminded that this is an event to celebrate. And I get to look at you all and know what you're going to do, and I feel so much better. I look at the future and I know it's so much brighter. And so I am so grateful to each and every one of you graduates for what you're going to do. So the rest of us can sort of just relax a little bit and know that the future is in good hands. And speaking of diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, one of the great joys I have in my position as a faculty member and dean is that I get to work with this woman. Valerie James is all that is good in the world. You all know the energy and passion and commitment she brings to everything she does. And so please join me in giving it up for Dean James.
I just want to take a point of privilege because it would be dishonest of me in this moment not to realize that there's some here that are not feeling this ceremony. This ceremony was months in the making, and we did it with everyone in mind. So for anyone that may feel that they were not a part, or they felt that any remarks left them feeling anything other than joy, we want to humbly apologize for that and to let you know that this event was created with love, care, and understanding. I ask you, as your Dean of DEI for student activities, to give each other grace and understanding, and to also continue the conversation to make sure that we all have the right information or correct information so that we all can be one and to find unity and even in disagreement. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everyone that helped with this event. Our McGeorge Law Celebration Committee, Unity Celebration Committee, thank you so much for your hard work, each and every one of you. It meant so much, and I won't call out the names because they're on the board there, on the screen, but so many people touched and made an impact. Everyone that spoke tonight, thank you so much. The families and the loved ones, thank you so much. I appreciate everyone and their kind words. Dean Levine, thank you so much. But I also want to make sure that I say to this class that we're all incredibly proud of you, that you have accomplished another major feat with things to come. But never forget who you are and where you come from. Never forget that you are to continue your journey unapologetically with confidence and resilience. I'm here if you ever need anything, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the night because we have a wonderful reception prepared for you all. So with that, let's cue the music, and let's go to our reception across the street.